Hi everyone, this is my molecular portfolio presented by me, Deanna Maxwell. Let's go ahead and just get right on it. All right, so the drug that I'm doing is fentanyl, and we're going to learn a little bit more about that drug today. Oops, sorry guys. So this is going to be the skeletal and expanded with the Vesper theory. I'm going to go ahead and play it and just tell you a little bit about my drug. So this is me drawing the skeletal, line bonds. And as you see, the nitrogen in the middle there has a lone pair. The oxygen has a few lone pairs, and there's a couple more as you'll see going forward. Now, a little bit about fentanyl. It's an extremely potent synthetic opioid that works by altering the way the brain and nervous system feel and respond to pain. There's a few different brand names like Actique, Abstral, etc. The drug was invented in 1950s, and essentially it was needed for super strong, quick pain relief, and it's commonly used for chronic cancer patients to help deal with their pain today. Now, as you can see here, I'm going ahead and continuing with the expanded structure. So you're going to see all my carbons and all my hydrogens that usually aren't shown in the line bonds. Now, with fentanyl, you shouldn't take the drug if you're allergic to it. If you have any addiction that runs in your family, you definitely shouldn't take it with drinking alcohol because it is super potent. Significant interactions are so many different things. It could be anything like as common as Benadryl all the way up to Xanax and barbiturates. Because of the way that it affects the respiratory system, it's very possible to overdose when interacting with other drugs. And this is just me continuing to do the carbons and hydrogens. Super exciting stuff. And then after I'm done with this, it'll go into all of the Vesper theory and geometry of it all. Now, something interesting about the drug, as many people know or have heard, of course, fentanyl has the potential to be super dangerous if it's not properly, monitored under the care of a physician. 2 milligrams of fentanyl can potentially be lethal depending on a person's size and weight. And since we've learned in chemistry class, 2 milligrams is not that much. Its super addictive nature and affordability has become the main cause of overdoses in the recent years. It's been mixed with tons of other drugs like heroin, methamphetamines, and even pills that look like pharmaceuticals themselves. It's very significant for people that actually do need it, and it helps a lot of chronically ill people to live a somewhat normal life free of pain. And so I never want to vilify this drug because it does have its uses, but I just hope to kind of shed some more light on how dangerous fentanyl really is and kind of what it's doing to our entire country as a whole. Now, after I finish with these lovely little hydrogens, we'll go on and move on to the Vesper theory. Almost done. There we go. Almost ran out of room there. Okay, so I have 3 on my molecule. I have tetrahedral, which I'm going to go ahead and circle in green, as you can see there. Now, tetrahedral, from what we've learned, is 4 bonds connected to the center atom. And as you can see, all of the ones that I'm circling have 4 line bonds connected to them. And next, I'm going to go ahead and go into the trigonal pyramidal. Now, that's 3 bonds and a lone pair, as you can see there in the nitrogen, and then the second nitrogen a little bit below it. And lastly, we're going to go into trigonal planar, which is just the 3 bonds. So you'll see me circling all of the rest of the carbons essentially. Now you can see here that, the carbons have double bonds, but it still kind of counts as the 1 bond in regards to the Vesper theory and the geometry. All right, now those are all of my drawings, and we'll go ahead and continue with the rest of the portfolio. Now this is going to be the molecular formula and molar mass calculations on page 6. My molecular formula for fentanyl is C22H28 N2 and O. Now to do molar mass calculations, you look at the periodic table to figure out the molar mass of it. So 1 carbon weighs about 12.011 grams, and I would multiply that by 22 because there's 22 carbons in my molecule. And I would go ahead and do that with hydrogens, nitrogens, and oxygens. And once I get those numbers, I add them all up, to get the molar mass of fentanyl, which is 336.48. Now, these are pictures of the page 7, just the hydrogen bonding with the molecule that has nothing to do with my drug specifically. As you can see through the red lines here, the O's are connected to the hydrogens here. And so this hydrogen is going to be the donor, and then the O is going to be the acceptor. Same thing with N's. So what we learned obviously through the classes is F, O's, and N's are going to do the hydrogen bonds. And you can see it here, 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 and here. Now in my molecule, there are only 3. I kind of left out on that regard. So on page 8, this is my molecule here. And you can see the 3 water molecules and how they're connected. The H is connected to the O, to the N, and to the N here. Now this is page 9, the polarity solubility predictions. As you can see highlighted here, here, and here, those are the polar, what's the word I'm looking for? The polar portions of the molecule. And so I don't know if you can read it very well, but it basically says the molecule fentanyl would be soluble in water because, as we learned in class, like dissolves like. And both the H2O molecule and my fentanyl molecule have polar bonds, and so it would be soluble in water. All right, now this is the solution calculations on page 10. As you can see here, this is just the first question. And the first question is basically asking, you want to prepare a 50 milliliter solution with the molarity of 2.30 times 10 to the negative 2 of your drug. So what you need to figure out is how much of your drug you're going to put in that solution as far as like how much weight you're going to put in. So to figure that out, that would be the 2.30 times 10 to the negative 2 moles over liters times 0.0500 liters. Because we converted the 0.0 milliliters to liters. And then we multiply that and we got 0.00115 moles. And then now in order to, convert this into the grams of my drug, I need to do the conversion factor. So what I know is that I have 0.00115 and I need grams of my drug. So to do that, I would look at the periodic table and do the conversion factor. So 1 mole of fentanyl is essentially, as we found on the previous pages, 336.48 grams. And that's going to equal to 0.386952. And if I, according to sig figs, need 3, so it'd be 0.387 grams of my drug. And according to the question as well, I wrote out kind of how I would do it. So I would weigh the 0.387 grams of my drug on a balance, and then I'd put that into the beaker first. And then after I put my drug into it, I would add the 50 milliliters or 0.0500 liters of the deionized water into the same beaker containing the drug, give it a stir, and now I have my solution. Now with part 2, right here, we're just basically figuring out the solute. So once we mix everything up, what would the end solute be of 2.0 milliliters at 3%? And so the professor kind of worked out some of the math for us. So as you can see here, it's 3.0 grams over milliliters times 2.0 milliliters divided by 100. And that gave me 0.060 grams. And then I converted that into milligrams with all of the conversion factors that we've learned this year and got 60 milligrams. And it says here 60 milligrams are in 2.0 milliliters of a 3% weight over volume solution of my drug. All right, everyone. Thanks for a great class this semester. I look forward to seeing the rest of your portfolios and have a good one.